What's up everyone, meet Swoobat. This Pokemon has a crazy good ability called Simple, which doubles the stat boosts. For example, Calm Mind will be +2, Nasty Plot will be +4. Pairs really well with its attacking moves over here. It has pretty decent speed, so it can outspeed some Pokemon, potentially dodge some moves, you know. The thing is, if it gets hit by a super effective move, it's donezo for the Swoobat. Let's check it out. Let's start off with this. If you do enjoy this content, just drop a like button. Might as well. It's free. It helps for some reason. But you know what funny thing is? I just was recording this and I realized that my audio was not recording. So I was going back and forth. Oh, it was actually kind of funny trying to figure out what's going on. But we have this little fire poison salamander wanting to poison anything and everything it touches because of its corrosion ability. If you don't know what corrosion is, it poisons poison types and it can poison steel types, which it shouldn't be able to do. But this little Cincino removes my stacked hazards, the toxic spikes. I figured the best case scenario would just be to take out that Pokemon because it can be really dangerous if it's allowed to be set up like that. But it did its objective. It took out the hazards, and my Drapion ends up going down to this Archeops. This Electivire actually has a pretty cool moveset, which I'm trying to activate over here. I give it the Blunder policy. I'm also trying this on another Pokemon. You might see that video coming soon. If I miss a Zap Cannon, it doubles my speed. But the thing is, Electivire does not have the best special attack, so I need to try and find a way to buff his special attack and end up using the Blunder policy so that I can double the speed, be fast, and be strong. As we could see, it didn't do that much. It did a lot of damage to the Obstagoon, but not that much, just enough for it to be taken out by Guts Facade boosted Obstagoon naturally, and I scare them out of the Clefable so I can set up rocks. But I don't want to switch out Clefable. There's nothing that I want to take a stab hit, nothing that fully resists, because I want Volcanion healthy exactly for this moment. I want Volcanion to be able to one-shot this without getting poisoned, but unfortunately it does add to Toxic. But looking at the rest of the team, Volcanion has a decent matchup, not the best matchup, because I know that it's just going to bring out the Goodra over here, and nothing I have can really tank hits from Goodra other than the Claydol. But I don't want the Claydol to just come in, set up, and try to sweep, because it cannot sweep the Obstagoon. It would have to do Earth Power. Maybe that might do damage, but then it'll just get immediately knocked out. So I'm just trying to whittle it down as much as I can with the Volcanion. The Toxic does take me out, and unfortunately I do miss one of the 95% accuracy moves, which sucks. But here we go. Swoobat with Nasty Plot. One Nasty Plot brings it up to +4, and it misses the Thunder. This is what I mean by it can miss. It can dodge attacks with its speed, and one Psyshock takes out the Goodra. Look how crazy that is. One Psyshock taking out the Goodra like that at that level. Even the Sylveon, it took so much damage from the Swoobat, and it ended up doing some decent damage back to the Swoobat, but it ended up living for some reason. But like, check this out. Now there's the Obstagoon. I'm thinking, oh, we're done for, but I have coverage, Heat Wave, and we get the 3 hits off with the Swoobat. This thing can be a crazy good breaker, but unfortunately, Archeops is way faster, and it has that cool tech with the Meteor Beam increasing its special attack and using a Power Gem. But yeah, that was the end of our Swoobat. It did some really good damage, and I'm proud. I'm so proud of the Swoobat. But this was the matchup that I was expecting at the end: a Claydol versus an Archeops, and I knew Archeops can't do that much damage because I have a lot of defensive investment in this Claydol so that I can store power. You all saw the video. Let's check the next one out. If you stayed for the second video, thank you very much. I appreciate you so much for watching my content. This has been really fun to record, and I hope you guys have been enjoying it as much as I have, for the very few people watching. But either way, thank you. If you've reached this far, whoa. That's a voice break. I'm gonna keep that in, who cares. If you reach this far, drop down a like button. If you enjoy my content, consider subscribing, because I try really hard to make these videos work, and it would be incredible to have some support. But we jump right in to this amazing Clefable taking hits from this Meowscarada and dealing back devastating results, because I look and it cannot remove any hazards. I expect one of them to be a focus sash, probably the Cerulege. Maybe it could have been the Meowscarada, but with the Stealth Rocks and the Toxic on the Meowscarada, we really do some crazy damage. So now whatever kind of sash they have, it will be broken. And I just wanted to knock off something on the Meowscarada. Turns out I knock off the focus sash on the Cerulege with the Smug. The Smug is pretty good. I gave it the Black Sludge so to be able to heal. I gave it pretty decent like defensive what am I talking about? Investments, so it can live some hits. And I gave it Toxic because I figured everyone's running Toxic in here, and I don't want to, in Dash All decks, most Pokemon learn Toxic, and I don't want to be that player that just uses Toxic on every single Pokemon, only if it makes sense. I mean, I'm pretty sure Clefable always gets it. If it doesn't get it in Scarlet and Violet, I'm removing it from the set. I might not be using Clefable that much more, but Muk definitely gets Toxic, you know, poison types. It'll be absurd if it doesn't. And I thought I would try and activate this Volcanion over here against this the Incineroar. It didn't have a good matchup against me because I'm Fire Water type. It could have used Dark moves and whatever, but with 1 speed boost, I end up outspeeding Dragonite. It doesn't take much. Dragonite's base 80 speed, but its outrage just immediately, yeah, takes me right out. And I don't want to bring in anything else to take a hit over here. I want to bring in Clefable because I know that it's not going to be able to hit me. So I throw in a heal over there, and I think another heal, yeah, just because I want this Clefable to be healthy. I know that it can take hits from Meowscarada, so I figured why not. And the reason why I use Alluring Voice is exactly for this reason. If we come up against a D-Dance, an Agility, a Swords Dance, whatever, it confuses the enemy, and it is fantastic. Being able to take hits with our Unaware ability, lay off some Toxic. This Clefable is essentially a stall monster because so many people have stall monsters in national decks, and it's insane. I'm pretty sure in the videos that I've recorded, you've seen a lot of these Ferrothorns, the most annoying sets I've ever come across. I always have to have a fire type on my team specifically for that damn Pokemon. I don't mind if they use it in a fun way, but you know, when they just say they have Leech Seed Protect, what is it? Leech Seed Protect, Gyro Ball / Power Whip, and they have one more move that I'm pretty sure Stealth Rocks or something. It's crazy annoying because it has Iron Barbs, probably leftovers or Rocky Mount. I'm done complaining about that. Meowscarada comes in, and I reveal the Flamethrower because I thought I was going to use a grass move and stick to that, but turns out it was not. It was not actually choice because it used U-turn before, and I figured it might not want to be stuck in grass because Muk's a poison type. So either way, it gets taken out, and we see over here the Dragonite does not have heavy duty boots again. I thought it did for a second. And the Swoobat outspeeds a Dragonite. I can't believe that. That's crazy. So we have a Swoobat over here. And this was the set where I was trying to think, let's try Calm Mind. Because I took a lot of damage from that Sylveon before, and I thought I don't want to take a lot of damage. I want to be able to set up twice with Calm Mind. I could be just as high as a Nasty Plot on the attacking side and the defensive side. That way, if I get hit by special attack moves, I'd be able to survive that. But then I come up against the Slowbro, and I'll tell you guys, it's really hard to get the Swoobat going. So this is just a little consolation one, but we end up taking out the Slowbro. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate you all.